Okay, this is take two. The first video I did just came out too dark. I really wanted to show off this Lemifshe Oz Rosie, or Posy if you want to call it, because yes, this is not the real deal, but this is one that took me about 3 weeks to get in, and then I sent it off to Way of Knife here. And as you can see, what they did, it came with just a plain titanium handle. The scales were plain titanium. So I went for the blackening service, where they blackened it, they stone washed it, and then they did a secondary color, which was dark blue. I think it was 25.5 volt, and hopefully it'll show up this time. I don't even know if it's going to be in focus with this little camera, but we're trying. And let's take a look at this side. I know you could really see the blue here on the clip. So it's a super nice dark black stone wash. I think they call it like an antique finish. And then where it gets stone washed, then after that they dip it in the 25.5 volt dark blue. So you can see the blue here around the edges of the clip. You can especially see it back here in between the backspacer. And just kind of overall, it's got this like bluish hue over the black. And I think it's totally gorgeous. You can see right through the skeletonized version. Super nice. And there's the 154 cm blade. This one does have Skiff bearings in it, and I'm not real good at that flicking, middle finger flicking, because of that broken knuckle right there. I've been trying to learn how to do that and flip it out, but it just doesn't have the flippability. What I like doing, I'll just walk it out. See, and it's super smooth. I know it won't quite fall shut, but that's the way I like it. I like it kind of a shake shut, so you have some control over it. This is why I got the skeletonized and had it darkened, so you can see the blade through the scales. I mean, very, very cool. Much like my Tyrant V3, which came in blackened with a short clip on it. Let me get that out of the way a little bit more. Tyrant V3, also promoting this one, DeWalt carbide blade. These things are just super cool. Keep it in my pocket all day at work. You never know it's there. It'll cut damn near anything you need it to cut. Open boxes, do small jobs, whatever. A lot of the blade is exposed here. So it's a very cool, a very tiny package, super sharp edge. So that is the Tyrant V3. We'll kind of keep it there in the picture. There is the Oz Posy 154 cm blade. That's fine with me. All in, this was about $90 for the knife. Took about 3 weeks to get in. Sent it to Way of Knife here to get it prettified. And that took a couple of weeks to get it back, and then I assembled it. So I've had it for about a week now or so, week and a half I've had it back. Just fantastic. Super smooth. And it's a really cool mid-size little EDC knife. Would I pay over $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 for it like some people are? No, I wouldn't. I think it's a very, very cool knife for about, this one I was about $225 all in. I've seen them going for 10 times that on eBay. Ridiculous. I would not pay that. My similar sized one, Spyderco Native 5. This was a sprint run, carbon fiber, S110V steel. I made very wide chamfered edges here on the edges of the carbon fiber. I put on a deep carry clip, S110V blade steel. Super useful small knife, and very nearly exactly the same size is the Oz, Rosie, Posey, Fosey, whatever you want to call it. Let's get that one out of the picture. The only other knife I love is my Custom Knife Factory Evo 2 carbon fiber. Just the way it came, dark titanium on that side, hollow ground blade, carbon fiber on this side, super light for its size. Got a blade that looks like a cleaver. This one also has skiffs in it, and it's pretty much drop shut. When I first put the skiffs in, I tighten it down quite a bit. I break it in a little bit. I back off the pivot screw then about 3 degrees, 5 degrees after I've broken it in for about a week, and then it does that. It's just incredibly smooth. There's no play anywhere. Up, down, left, right. It's just the skiff bearings that are pre-oiled a little bit. I put some of this Krytox grease on the pivot. Any moving or rotating surfaces, you put some of this grease on there, like on the pivot hole in the blade, on the actual pivot. Yes, take the bearings. These are the cheap ones that came with the my Oz Posey. Get those out of the way just so you can see this a little better. And yeah, I put a little oil on them. I do that in my fingers. I pre-oil the balls on here a little bit. As you can see, these are the super cheap stamp bearings that came with the Posey. So you take those out, you put the skiffs in here, and then you're good to go. The Posey, by the way, came in this nice little box all ready to go. Doesn't have all the branding and everything, but that's the way it came in this box. And I'm just super delighted with the way this came out for what people are paying for these. It's insane. Yes, I paid secondary for this guy. This was about $1,000, okay? I had to have it. This is my Grail knife. It's my one of a kind. I don't think I'll ever go beyond this one. It's the one I have that costs a lot of money. So we got the Tyrant V3, which was about $130. Then we got the Oz Posey here. All in was about $225, maybe $230. After the Way of Knife did their thing, I told them to make the hardware just as dark black as they could. Go ahead and do the blue and black on the scales, and then just blacken the hardware. I didn't get down into the dual detent ball thing down in there. Didn't feel that was necessary. I just love the dark bluish black. It's incredible. Especially when it's closed up. That's why I got it. So you can see it through the scales like that. Okay? You get the idea. Bam. I wish I could shoot it out like some people do. Anyway, yeah, 130-ish, 225, 230-ish. This one probably 330-ish, 350. I don't know. There's one on eBay right now for, I think, $430 or $440 for this sprint run. It doesn't have the chamfering that I did or the deep clip, just the way it originally came for $440. It's a badass little EDC knife. Nothing wrong with it. S110V. It's crazy. And then you know what this one cost, about $1,000. So, sequentially higher on the pricing there. That's about it. Hopefully you can get some good shots of what Way of Knife EDC did on this one. If I close her up, see, I tightened down the pivot here pretty darn well, and it centers up amazingly just the way it should with the skiffs in there. You tighten it down, it's going to be nice and centered right here. Everything's perfect on this knife. I like the clip. I love the way the color came out. 154 cm blade. There's a random piece of paper. See if I can do this. I'm not used to doing knife videos without cutting myself. It came in sharp. Something like that. There we go. Scared to cut myself. Anyway, came in very, very sharp. I've had knives before that had 154 cm in them, and they are easy to sharpen up, and they get incredibly sharp, like a razor blade. I don't know what else to say on this one. Great shots. I know on the Lemifshe that this wedge here is not quite as pronounced as it is on the real one, and this one is also a bit thicker than the real one. I have not weighed this one. I don't have a scale that goes that small, but I know with all the skeletonizing, it is super lightweight. Probably only somewhere 2.5, 3 ounces. I don't know, but it's still got a little more width on it this way, which is great, and you choke up like that. Even with my big extra large hands, I mean, perfect EDC knife, just like the Native 5 here. I like the Lemifshe because it actually uses more of the blade. It uses the whole exposed blade there, whereas this one is cut back to there. So that was my favorite pocketable EDC. The small one here, the Tyrant, I have in my pocket every day at work. I'm a licensed optician, so I'm opening boxes, I'm cutting small, fishing line and doing small jobs and stuff with it. This is fine in my pocket all day. If I'm not at work, this will be in my pocket on the weekends or when I'm not at work. Come on, focus. Maybe if I hold it still, you'll be able to get some good shots. I tried to get out here in the sun so you could see these things. There. See the blue, hopefully. Hopefully something is in focus. See the blue on the clip. So that's kind of the only differences, is the swedge, the thicknesses. These are things that other people have pointed out. Not that I have gone through and figured out. And I believe maybe the shape of the cutting edge here just a little bit different than the genuine. But come on, folks, this was like $225, $230, all in, not $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. Saw one on eBay. It was $21.50 for a week and a half. Then it was gone. Like somebody actually bought it. $21.50. They would have paid $150 tax on it. $2,300 for this. It's a great little mid-sized pocket knife, but would I pay $2,000? Yeah. I try to keep from laughing. When this one was 1/10 the price. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm kind of crazy for spending, $1,000 on that one. That was my grail, and I'm not gonna do that again. Yeah, I love when that one wax out like that. This one's just so cool. Same kind of design, same kind of setup, only much bigger and badder. Oh my gosh, this one is just insane. If I go hiking, go off for the weekend or something, out in the woods, whatever, hiking, camping, outdoors, I just want to show off. Oh, that bad boy. That's ridiculous. And one more parting shot. I don't think I've forgotten to mention anything I wanted to mention. The stonewash blade was fine for me. I know Way of Knife will also do stone washing, acid etching, things like that, doing the rockering on knives if you want. I thought the blade was just fine. Obviously, I like a plain, sterile blade. Well, I actually love the ground blade on this one. So nice. But aside from that, I like a plain blade. I don't want it blackened, blackwashed. Then when you use it, they start looking cruddy after a while. Nope, just on the scales like this. Then we get the contrast. People are like, what kind of knife is that? That's pretty cool. Okay, let's hold her steady and just look at the job that Way of Knife did here. Let's, I don't know what I have to do to get it in the best focus. See if I... Nope, won't really let me zoom. Oh yeah, it will. When I'm in the movie mode. Video mode. Oh, it's a little Sony. This is a little Sony camera I've had for 10 or 15